Samsung's One UI interface is full of little bops, bits and toggles that you can switch. It's daunting at first, but take your time and you can find some incredible settings, so I've compiled a list of some out-of-the-box tips and tricks to get you going. Let's master the camera. First tip, you can set the minimum shutter speed and maximum ISO. Galaxy cameras are typically pretty fast, but sometimes the software likes to slow down the shutter speed to be able to collect more light. In those cases you get a blurry image, but now you can actually force your phone camera to be faster even if you're not in Pro mode. Go to the settings here and scroll down to the camera assistant. If you don't have this installed yet, the phone will prompt you to download it. Tap it. Now scroll down to the Photos section and look for advanced photo modes. Here you can set a minimum shutter speed and a maximum allowed ISO for the auto mode. I like these settings. Alternatively, again within the camera assistant, which is way down here, you can choose to prioritize focus over speed. This will ensure that the camera will get full focus before activating the shutter. I mean, this is how it should be in the first place, but sure. Number 3, again within the camera assistant, you can create Pro camera setting presets. So if you have a specific room or a studio where you always use the same settings, you can tap this and save a preset, or you can choose to save a preset from a specific photo. And now when we go into Pro mode, you can find your preset within this new button. Fourth, the Photo Object Proct. For aspiring YouTubers that want to make their own thumbnails, don't pay for premium features in third-party apps, just tap and hold and you can remove a subject from the background of any photo. Now put your shocked face on any thumbnail. Don't forget the red arrows and circles. In case you didn't know, this is not exactly a hidden tip, but a lot of people miss it because they don't expect it to work. Samsung's Quick Share now supports Apple AirDrop. So you can finally share photos with friends easily. iPhone users are especially shocked when they find out that this works now. Now, let's master the S Pen. Go to Settings and Advanced Features. Then S Pen, then Air Command. Make sure that this option is enabled because it's off by default. Now, every time you press the S Pen button, the Air Command menu will pop up. We do this for 2 reasons. First, you can now remove this annoying bubble. Also, here's a very neat shortcut that you should know about. If you hold the button and double tap on the screen, you create a new note instantly. Just write anything, close it, and you can find it within Samsung Notes. Also very useful, when you hold this button and scroll over text, you can actually highlight it, even if it's text that you normally cannot highlight with a finger. See, this doesn't work, but if I do it like this, pretty cool. Now, more tips about the notes. Remember that whenever you're writing something, you can hold this button and it becomes a quick eraser. When you let go, it's a pen again. When you press it, it's eraser. Pretty useful for quick corrections. You can also use this tool to straighten up your writing or convert your written text to typed text. You know, because you can take notes for yourself and it's all fine and good. It probably doesn't look great, but then if you select this, never mind, maybe you can just go ahead and convert it to actual text. And now it's a bit more presentable for other people. Also, remember about screen off memo. So when your phone is in standby and you pull out the S Pen, you can immediately take a note. Save it, just get the S Pen back in. and that note is now in Samsung Notes. Now you may have seen the promos that Samsung AI can now do math within Notes. If you want to do this, you have to enable it. So tap the triple dot menu all the way down here, turn on Math Solver. So if I write out a problem, as soon as you add the equals mark, the AI will finish the equation. Now, let's upgrade the privacy display. So, the most obvious option is that you can have it turn on for specific apps. For example, if this is my banking app, I enable this, and now whenever I open my quote-unquote banking app, privacy display is on. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. You can upgrade that. So go into settings and look for routines. You can tap here to add routines as an icon to your app drawer. Now, in my Galaxy S26 Ultra review, I already shared that the privacy display works much better when your brightness is also set to low. So, go here, create a new routine. If app is opened, let's say this is my banking app, then you go to display, privacy display, on with maximum protection. But add another then, display, brightness, set it as low as you can while it's still visible to you. And now with this routine you have a super powered privacy display. Look at these angles. You can also use routines to enable privacy display if you arrive at the specific place or if you leave your home. Here's another smart tip. If you have like a bonus card saved within your wallet app for your gas station, you can put a cheap NFC tag inside your car and then program routines so that every time you scan this specific NFC tag, it will open your wallet app, so you don't need to look for it whenever you're just looking to gas up and get your loyalty points. Now, let's clean up and personalize your UI. First, make sure you enable swipe to pop up. If you just go into settings and look for swipe, this is what we need. Now, when that is enabled, whenever you swipe in from the top diagonal of the screen, you can instantly turn any app into a floating window. This is exceptionally useful for any multitasking scenario. Also, you should limit the presence of AI Select. There's like 4 ways you can activate AI Select. One, you tap on the edge panel handle and hold and it enables it, but then if you open your edge panel, it's up here, and then when you take a screenshot, it's also down here, and if you pull out your S Pen and activate the Air Command menu, it's also here. So you can remove it from the Air Command menu to make room for another favorite app here, and you can remove it from the Edge panel as well. However, you can see these are grayed out. You actually have to go in here and remove the Galaxy AI features you don't want in the Edge panel. Again, this is important because you can fill the Edge panel with your favorite apps. And the Edge panel is important for multitasking because you can pull in anything from here, make it a split screen or a floating window. It could be your chats, your browsers, anything. Last but not least, we have this modern style of notifications and the control toggles being separated, which I find annoying. So you have to swipe in from here for notifications or from here for the toggles. No, we don't want that. Just go in here, click panel settings and select together. This is the good old classic way of doing things. Now, wherever you swipe in from, you get your old toggles with notifications panel all in one. You can use routines to even optimize your phone for gaming, for example. So let's go to if app opened. So let's say that this is League of Legends Wild Rift, for example. Now, then we can improve the performance, set performance profile to standard instead of light, and also activate high touch sensitivity to make sure your controls are responsive. Samsung also has this awesome thing called storage share. So if you have a laptop or a tablet that's connected to the same Samsung account as this phone, you can just open up your Files app and browse it through your personal network as if it was on this device. And finally, go absolutely nuts with Good Lock. Samsung Good Lock is where all power users eventually end up. It's basically the experimental playground of all features that don't make it into the mainstream market, but Samsung lets you download them if you really want to go nuts. There are honestly way too many extensions to list in this video, so I do recommend you take it slow, but once you feel ready, here are some of my favorite ones. Theme Park lets you create a completely custom theme. I'm talking not just a background, but you can change the keyboard's look, the quick panels, colors and layout. You can change icons and even the way your volume panel looks. Home Up is the logical extension of that. It lets you change the way your recent apps carousel looks, a personalized folder appearance, and even add stickers to your home screen. Quick Start unlocks full customization of the notification panel up here, so again you can add a theme to it, but you can also remove any of these little icons you want to, the NFC icon in particular. Routines Plus adds even more options for your powerful Routines app, and the camera assistant, we already played with that at the start, but again a very powerful app to enhance your camera in more ways than we showed in this video. These were only a few tips and tricks, but hopefully they got those gears rattling and you're thinking a bit outside the box now. Honestly, the Samsung One UI is one of the most detailed, fleshed out interfaces out there. If you have any other cheeky tips to share with us, the comments below are open. Thanks for watching.